Welcome to Getting to Know You. It's the last one of 2022, and we're looking forward, really looking forward to 2023. We usually say getting to know you, staff and residents. This time it's getting to know you a thing, and it's the new calendar for 2023. I am in awe of it. It is so wonderful. It exemplifies the creativity here at Stonebridge and the organizational ability that people have of staff and residents getting together to do something that is practically magic from my point of view. You may recall that last year we were surprised by the first calendar. All wildflowers that we know and love and stop and poke at and so on, mainly designed by Doreen Malouf and Jim Powell. This year, it's a bigger group that got together to do something that is different, and it focuses on people and what people do that is creative and really makes them feel very satisfied that they've been able to do something. And now I think it's inspired everyone to think about how wonderful it is to be a maker. I'd like to pay tribute, first of all, to the people who made it happen. Kathy Desch, our manager of Live Well, which really is a way of saying that we are here to encourage life, that we're here to live in a very positive, creative way, and that includes everything, exercise and our food, but basically it's the people who are enthusiastic and find things to do that really make a very joyous community. So Katie was then joined by the Office of Sales. Julie Harp joined in and provided some guidance and some funds. And we will know that when we purchase this wonderful calendar, if there are any funds left after the expenses, they all go to the Montgomery Emergency Corporation Management, the people who drive what we think of as the ambulance in old parlance. So we're doing good as well. This endeavor really makes you smile. I hope you sit down with the calendar, and this is what it looks like, and turn the pages as I did and looked at each month separately and up close. And at the end, Jock is going to be showing you every month so you can savor it just by seeing it on the screen. And then we decided that for Getting to Know You, we would interview two of the people who had contributed as makers. And we decided we would go with a look at what one of the newest residents here has created, and then go to someone who's had a long experience of creating here at Stonebridge and using the facilities of Stonebridge. So stick with me and I'll tell you at the end who we visited, and I hope you enjoy the conversation we had with them. But I'd also like to point out that the calendar shows you on the back all of the people from Stonebridge who contributed. Each month has a different maker, but then there's also a committee that was involved in putting it all together. It really symbolizes how so many times we get together to make something happen, that makes us smile. So I hope you join with me in thanking the people who gave so much thought to what they would share with us, but then also thank them for their creativity and knowing that so much of it really happened here at Stonebridge in later life, a nice balance of things of that kind. So it's Happy New Year, Happy Year celebrated with a wonderful calendar, and I hope you enjoy the holidays as they are now upon us. We are taping this just before Hanukkah and at the time of Hanukkah and just before Christmas. And before we know it, it will be 2023, which we hope you will enjoy having your wonderful calendar in hand, and every single day and every single month really appreciate what a wonderful place we have to live well and the creativity that does grow out here. So thank you very much, and watch Getting to Know You when we start up again in 2023. Well, here I am with a maker. As you know, I selected a person who was new to Stonebridge and to the kinds of projects we do here. And you will be hearing from somebody later who has been here for a long time. So, Adria, still welcome to Stonebridge. And we're glad that you were involved in the project. You were on the committee that worked on this as well.
Yes, I was, right from the beginning.
Yeah. And you're in the photography group, so.
I am.
Yeah, so now we're getting to see something that you made, and not just in a picture. I'm holding it in my lap, this wonderful footstool. I was told I couldn't put my feet on it, so it's nice to be holding it up to look at the camera. Tell us what you did. I understand this is your first making of a needlepoint project?
I can't really remember, but I think it was. And it came to be because our son belonged to a youth chamber orchestra, and I had to drive him to the rehearsals and then sit through the rehearsal, which was fine, but I didn't want to just twiddle my thumbs. So I think that's when I took up needlepoint.
And you taught yourself?
I did, yes.
But by teaching yourself was starting with a canvas?
Yeah, a canvas, and actually the piece that you have over there,
The house or the
red one.
stitching? Oh, I love this.
That may in fact be my first one, because I had a book of needlepoint designs, and I decided to make a sampler. So every little square of this is a different stitch, and I made it the same color so that, you know, you can see that it features the stitches.
Stitch as
Yeah,
opposed
exactly,
to
the stitch.
color, yeah. So then you had to make the design in some way on here, measure it all carefully, because these little animals are carefully lined up.
I know, and I have to tell you, I wish I remembered how to do it. I don't know what I did. I'm starting another one now, and did I paint it on the canvas? I don't know.
But you had an inspiration.
I had an inspiration.
Did your son know it was his grandmother who inspired you?
He did indeed. And actually, I mean, each of these little animals, whatever they are, is exactly as it was on the camel bag. But I simply don't remember how they got there.
Your mother brought that home so you could
She did.
look at it.
No. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
she brought it home just because she liked it.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, right.
But I simply cannot remember. Maybe I drew it on the canvas. That could be it. But I don't remember.
They're so carefully lined up, well trained, but but each one is different.
I know. They're different just the same way they were on the camel bag.
And lo and behold, did you always know it would be a footstool, a useful thing?
Yes, I did, because I knew that this was the sun. I mean, I decided it would be a footstool because I had a footstool with a pattern that I didn't really like.
Right.
And so this is the same cushion, but it's got a different coloring. So I knew how big the canvas should be.
Right. And where did the bags come? The camel bag come from?
Iran, I think.
And so you're inspired by another culture, and
Indeed,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And I suppose knowing that it's Iran might help you to know what kind of animals they are, but maybe I think they may be just imaginary animals.
Right. Some kind of stylistic.
I
thing.
think so.
Yeah, and it's sort of a mystery, like, of who originally thought about it, and that you would then be able to sit here in the United States and have it be on a calendar. And that didn't stop you from continuing to do this. I asked you if you did something else, and you showed me something that's very American. Your house.
Our house, yes, our house in Chicago. And you could see, I tried to get everything in, including our two cats right here, and a little bird flying by.
So this is a very different concept.
It is, yeah. The orange is the brick of the house, and the dark green is bushes and the ivy that was climbing on the house.
and we saw the original stitches sampler.
Yeah, the
So-
original sampler.
Well, it's really great to think of the picture that's in the calendar as being this lovely work of art, but it's also great to hear about how a maker works and how you're inspired, and that you don't stop making with one good thing, you just
No.
keep going.
And I have a pattern of what I want to do next, but since I can't remember how I did the layout, I may have to ask somebody.
Well, I think maybe your work will be known far and wide with the calendar, so. maybe
That was
you-
so much
You
fun.
might have a resource,
Yeah,
so.
doing the calendar was so much fun.
Well, it's beautiful, and thank you for your contribution to being a maker and also in making the calendar
Yeah.
Come to
Well,
fruition.
I was thrilled. It was wonderful.
I'm thrilled to be able to look at it, so thank you very, very much. I'm delighted to be talking with another maker, Charlie Taggart. And Charlie has been here for a long time and has a sense of history about what you can do that's creative at Stonebridge. His contribution to the calendar is this wonderful lectern. Is this the first time that something has been featured that you made here at Stonebridge? Because you've done a lot. Charlie, tell us about this piece, because it's really a useful thing, right?
It turned out to be because Jenny Urbanski and I just ran into each other, and she was sort of fidgety about getting ready for the Seder dinner. And she said, I wish I had something to put some books on. And I said, well, I can't do it overnight, but why don't we think about a small lectern?
And here it
And
is.
here it is, made out of mahogany from the wood shop. And it's turned out to be wonderfully useful, not only for Jenny, but for other clergy who come to Stonebridge from time to time. So I'm delighted to see that it's used and it's featured in the calendar.
And maybe we should just point out a few special touches. The edge, which we can't see, was done on a machine that's here in this wonderful wood shop in the lower level of Stonebridge.
Called a routing machine.
So that's the edge. And then this little holder here, this is a different wood than this.
Same wood, but mahogany comes in different flavors. So-
So there's one dark one and then the pattern that's
Yes,
on here.
The contrast was not by accident.
Mhm. Okay, well, that's what I wanted to point out. That's what makes it interesting to look at when you have these contrasts. Now, this wood shop has been here for a long time because people who were residents here made a lot of use of it and wanted to have it. What's the brief history?
Well, it was simply a space. And Peter Erdman and Case Bowl pushed and pushed and pushed until Stonebridge finally dedicated this space. And they put in the dust collecting system, and they brought some of their tools. And so we have a full complement of many very dangerous tools. And so the lawyers got here first with all kinds of liability waivers. At the beginning, you had to reserve workspace because you wanted to build a project, and you could tie up space for 3 or 4 days at a time, and then you made something. Lately, it has turned out to be more of a place where we fix things.
And Charlie has a notebook here of all the things that he has made whole, precious things that people really wanted to be have it taken care of. And fortunately, you sort of have a documentation of all the ways that beautiful things have been put back together again.
Big tables with no legs, we put them back on, or dining room chairs with the backsplat completely shattered, or a wonderful Rube Goldberg device so that a resident could adjust his computer screen for better light. It was made with a coat hanger and then lots of wood.
And what I love too is sitting here, when we think of creativity, is some of the small pieces that you might aspire to make if you have a creative bent. One of them, of course, is this box that you showed me. And not only is the lid beautifully done, but as you pointed out, the grain of the wood matches the box matches the grain of the lid.
It matches because it was one piece
Mhm.
that was later sawed off to create the top.
And so if you think about choices that you have to make, well, you have to decide that this is the way you're going to make the top. And another piece that caught my eye is something that I thought, wouldn't it be interesting to be challenged of what do you do by putting pieces of wood together so that they look beautiful as I guess you can use it's like a hot plate. I'm gonna put it up here, you can see that.
It's a cutting board.
Cutting board,
It's
that's
a
what.
very utilitarian,
Right.
yes.
Yeah,
It can be a trivet or
right. But it takes imagination to think about what pieces of wood you want to put together.
or really skills in cutting and gluing. It sounds boring, but it's really a challenge.
Right. That's why you have to sign that waiver if you're going to do something like that. I guess we should say that other people can use this place, and you put out a little, Charlie, as you look around this shop, and I think Jock is going to include a picture, you make it clear that people who are living here today and don't know about this place might want to come here and see what they can produce, what ideas they might have, and they get some coaching from you. They have to sign a waiver. But it is a place to be creative.
And we're actively recruiting new participants. And so look for an announcement in the bulletin as we run it frequently. It's a very interesting place.
Yeah, interesting things here.
Yes, Charlie Bushnell is an engineer by training at Plasma Physics Laboratory, and he is the most creative and instantly helpful fixer of things for residents. He does it with great enthusiasm, and he's a great addition, and if he were not off traveling with his family, he'd be here today.
Yeah, be explaining this. But today, we really do want to focus on this wonderful lectern, and that it's a part of the Maker's calendar, and that we want to pay tribute to you for all of your creativity and usefulness in thinking about how we can have a better life at Stonebridge. So thank you.
Absolutely. It's been great fun and very rewarding.
Good.